today we got some news, and the news was that the Mandalorian movie has been confirmed. Now, there were rumblings of about this going around for the past couple of years. Not gonna lie, fans were like getting super excited, but it is now official. Lucasfilm announced today on Instagram that they are doing this Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Okay, so just to make sure that you guys understand, right? They are not doing a season 4 of the Mandalorian. They are doing a movie. And fun fact, Comic Cuts, I didn't even know this. I was reading an article. Did you know that Mando was the most watched Disney Plus show last year?
I don't think I knew that, but it's not surprising.
Yeah. Even though the season was very underwhelming, it still did the numbers, which is crazy.
You know, here's the thing with the Mandalorian. As awful as Disney manages Star Wars, Mandalorian is like a prime example of what Disney Star Wars success should look like. I mean, Grogu is just such a genius character. You know, he's so marketable. The toys, I mean, everyone of all ages love him. And I'm sure a large number of the people that watch Mandalorian saw a picture of Grogu, a Grogu toy, and were like, who is that? And I want to know more about him, and watch The Mandalorian. And that's why I say, you know, The Mandalorian is a prime example of what Disney Star Wars success can look like. And no, I'm not saying just because Grogu is marketable. The show was actually great, but Grogu caught everyone's attention.
Yeah, and it comes from the great mind of, you know, obviously Jon Favreau, who is one of the GOATs, in my opinion, in this business. And I'm happy that he's, you know, getting to work on this movie as well. This is gonna be really big for them. I think this is a really big deal. I wasn't the biggest fan of season 3. Obviously, I like season 3, but I was expecting more. The whole season to me felt like filler, to be honest. And you know, and this has been the problem with Disney Plus shows. You know, a lot of these shows only need about 3 episodes to really sum up the whole entire story. And 3 episodes is literally a movie, you know. But what happens is, excuse me, what happens is they want to obviously extend it, you know, to make more money for watch time. So they create all these filler episodes. And so basically, you know, with Disney Plus, that's kind of been the main issue. So I'm happy that with, you know, Mandalorian, we are going to be getting a movie, which means this project is going to be concise. It means that this project is going to be filled should be filled with a lot of action and a lot of story plot to move the story. And, you know, when it comes to Star Wars belongs in movie theaters, okay? That is the heart of Star Wars, you know? Me being a diehard Star Wars fan, all the other Star Wars fans in the world, everybody saw Star Wars with their parents when they were younger. And this brings people back to the theaters. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to just have a kid just so I can take him to see Mando next year, bro. Like, I'm gonna lie, just to say that I took my kid to see Star Wars. You know, when it comes to Star Wars, seeing a Star Wars movie in theaters is something special, you know. And I think that Mandalorian is going to do that for a lot of Star Wars fans because, you know, Mando is a you know, Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian, and Grogu. They are beloved characters. As much as people, you know, as much as people might think that he's a knockoff of Boba Fett or whatever, he's a loved character, and I think fans are going to go out and watch him for sure.
You know, on this show, Star Wars is unique with the properties that we talk about, in that it's the only property that, you know, was born in the movies. You know, everything else comes from the comics, you know, even outside of the show with, you know, James Bond comes from books. You know, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure Game of Thrones comes from books. Star Wars, born in the movies, made for the movies. You know, so it is important. You know, and listen, not to burst anyone's bubble here, but and don't get me wrong, I'm chalking this up as a W, but I still think it's crazy that we're getting a Mandalorian movie that should be fire. You know, it's Jon Favreau, you know, Pedro Pascal. What could go wrong?
I do think it's a good decision to spearhead Mando's being the first project coming 2 theaters. That's a good move because that project's going to make bread. It's going to make a lot of money, and I really think this movie's going to be really good, mostly because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau will be working on this film. So that is a positive, but I am fearful for the future of what Star Wars is going to do, mostly because supposedly these years were taken off to plan, and it still seems like they don't have a plan. So yeah. All right, let's enter some drag.
When that movie drops and the Mando theme song hits, like people are gonna go crazy.
The Mando movie is awesome. It is a great idea. This is one of the best decisions Star Wars has made in a while. And by the way, let's end on the positive, bro. Ahsoka was fire, okay? By the way, in Ahsoka season 2 is also being worked on. So Star Wars is to an extent cooking. They just need some direction, because they have good projects on their hands. Mando movie and the Ahsoka movie. And yes, we're getting a Rey movie, but there is another movie being worked on that's going to culminate the Mando movie and the Ahsoka show, where they're going to be going up against Thrawn, which I think is something. I think there's something special there. So we just have to hope and pray that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and the team are able to direct us into that point. But the reality is, Lucasfilm is going to have to answer this question: which way are we going to go? Are we going to keep doing these projects with Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker, which I think they should do, or are we going to keep going all in on the Rey stuff and just bring Grogu to this point? Those are the two options that they have. And so we will see what happens. We will see what happens, in due time.